Hi, I'm Ratz, and this is also Ratz. I'm him, he's me, and that's about everything you need to know. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title of the video, and you know what's up. ArtFight season is officially here, and I am taking you on a journey with me. I was originally gonna film my prep process, but I am a Virgo and tend to overcomplicate preparations, and despite starting in April, I still barely managed to get ready on time. If you don't know what ArtFight is, here is a quick rundown. It's an art event that happens yearly for the entirety of July, and you join one of the themed teams and try to earn points for your team by drawing people's OCs. Those are called the attacks, hence ArtFight. This year, the ArtFight team threw a curveball our way, and for first time we had 3 teams. And as you've seen, I am Team Tragedy. Let's go! I have a goal set for myself that is rather ambitious for me personally, but what am I if not ready to burn myself out? With all that being said, let's finally jump into week 1 of ArtFight 2026. So like I said, this year I gave myself a few challenges to complete in addition to general challenge vibe of ArtFight. First of all, I want to draw all of my bookmarks, which is 29 attacks, and that's the ambitious part. I want to revenge every attack done on me, and I also have a few smaller challenges, which are to go outside of my comfort zone with characters I draw and pieces in general, and I want to attack some first year Artfighters because nothing beats the feeling of being attacked on your first year. I feel like there was something else. Oh right, I am freshly employed, so I have to do all of these while working for half the time I am awake. Before I start talking about the attack itself, I wanna address something real quick because I know this year there has been a discourse online when it comes to rules of using references. There have been misinterpretations of rules that have been standing as part of ArtFight for years now, and misinformation spread about reference pics not being allowed at all. However, the rules just state that you can't directly trace any poses or 3D models that you use. And before anyone goes to comments and says that I am breaking the rules, I do want to say that rules do state that setting up simple guidelines is allowed, which is exactly what I did with my reference pics, and then I later on worked them out and defined them more. We are kicking ArtFight off with a character I almost drew last year. I ended up drawing another character by the same creator instead, but that's why we are here this year. This is Stevie by blumonday. I genuinely hope I'm saying all of these credits right. So Stevie is a laid-back friendly person, however her bio says she can get snappy under pressure. She's a drummer in a band called RanByRatz with her younger brother and her best friend. Mainly though she is an aspiring fashion designer and makes the outfits for the band. I really took that into account and wanted to do a fun outfit, mainly taking clothes she already wore in a design but changing up the skirt because I really liked the look of the skirt in the reference photo. I wanted to do something that could be used as a cover for a magazine with collage effects and stuff, and I honestly think I achieved that by the end. I usually love bright colors, so honestly blumonday's characters and color palettes are all right up my alley, and I really liked the skin color that Stevie has. It was a joy to see such bright colors be used, and I had so much fun coloring her. Going into this attack, I was very ambitious because it was the first attack of the art fight. I didn't draw anything for a few days to prepare myself. I was pumped, I was ready to get going, and I think that really translated well into the art piece itself. I was very excited the whole time and wanted to give it my all. The skirt though, my god, that was hell on earth to draw. I am bad with ruffles. I know it probably doesn't look like it because I really like how the skirt turned out, but I am awful with ruffles. It takes me so much time, and it genuinely, to finish this attack, it took me like 4, maybe 5 hours. I really stayed long on the ruffled skirt, but it was just absolutely needed for me. I did not want to not include it. I thought it really fit the vibe, and I was just in love with the silhouette, and it added to the whole vibe of the magazine shoot cover. In her band outfit, she wears a shirt that's blue and has red stripes, and I wanted to take that element and put it into this design. And also, as you can see right now, I had to do plaid pattern, which I have never drawn before. I was trying to figure it out, and how it's supposed to be done and what overlaps with what, where do the little thread lines go. My god, it was an experience to say the least. Also, this doesn't have much to do with the attack itself, but part of my process when art in general is having background noise. I love having YouTube videos or TV shows or music playing in the background. Just something to like keep me entertained while drawing and keep me sane. I don't know where the urge came from, but as soon as I started working on my attacks and I knew I needed something to play in the background, I randomly got the idea to finally, for the first time, watch Cowboy Bebop. My friend watched it a few months ago and I saw an episode or two with her, and it honestly seemed like a vibe and I really wanted to watch it. So while I was working on these attacks, I had Cowboy Bebop playing in the background. I watched a couple of episodes I need to continue while working on these attacks. Back to Stevie though. I finally started working on the background once I finished all of the shading, and I knew I'm gonna do halftone background because it's something I've gotten into in like past few months. I was very inspired by my friend who does halftone a lot, and honestly it brings such an element to the art. I cannot explain it, but it's a very nice way to fill up space without looking messy or like crowded. On top of that, it really fits the vibe of the attack itself. Here you can see me playing more with halftones, trying to put it over Stevie, try to like give some pop art elements. I ended up using it, but I really debated it. I turned it on and off 500 times. I added paper cutouts into the back and then started playing with gradient maps. I've only recently started to understand them, so maybe they are not the best. But oh well, I think it really gave a nice shine to the artwork, and this is how it turned out. Attack 1 finished. I had so much fun drawing Stevie. All credits again to blumonday for her design. You should go check them out. They have such dope characters, and let's get into the next one. I actually did another attack in between these two. However, I don't think the creators saw my attack, and I really hope to have everyone's permissions before I post their characters, so we'll skip that one, but you can check it out on my profile if you want. Now let's talk about the next attack. This is Cham by ChammyScarm, and as you can probably assume, this is their Sona. A Sona is a character meant to represent you. They of course don't have to look like you by any means, it's just a representation of you people use online. Just like Ratz is mine. I love a good OC and I love drawing them, of course. But artists deserve some love too, so here I am drawing a Sona for someone. Cham's bio says they always look sleepy and have a cigarette with them. They love energy drinks and their favorite color is red. I decided to focus on those elements when making this attack because I feel like they really work well for the concept I had, which is I wanted to do a piece that looks like a old picture from a digicam. Fun fact, me and my friend have a shared custody over a digital camera and it's so much fun. I highly recommend having one. The pics are not the best quality, but it adds to the aesthetics. Anyways, I found this great reference pic of an old picture and it worked so perfectly for the attack I wanted to do. I ended up enjoying myself so much while drawing Cham. Like, I knew I was gonna have fun because I bookmark designs I really like and I know that I'm gonna enjoy drawing, but my god, I had so much fun and enjoyment, especially drawing the hair. I don't know, I cannot explain it, but this hair was so satisfying. It's honestly my favorite part of the whole attack. I keep looking back at it and I really enjoy how it turned out. I did, however, struggle a bit trying to figure out if I succeeded in making Cham look tired or if they look sad, but I think I got there in the end. Out of all the attacks I did, this one probably took the most time to do line art for. I don't really know why, but the lines just like took a while. I took my time and enjoyed the process of it all. I'm not complaining at all, but yeah, I think just like making the lines full, I think that's what contributes to me really loving the hair. I really like how it turned out with the lines, with the sharpness, with like boldness and volumes of thick to thin. As you can see on your screens, I slowly started doing the jacket as well. I finished the pentacle necklace, the key. I decided to do the key monochromatically with like no details, just to make my life a bit easier and not have to do metal or steel or anything, but I don't think it like affected the attack too much. I once again locked in with the ruffles and the folds of the clothes, even though it took me a while again, but I think I did a good job once again. That's ticking off the little challenge I had for myself, which is going outside of my comfort zone with the attacks. I don't usually do too many ruffles and stuff just because I am bad at it. Like, very rarely will I do it, and when I do, it's a struggle bus always. I also decided to test myself furthermore by doing backgrounds, which is something that I am not good at all. I really want to learn to do backgrounds more so I can create more complex art pieces. However, I'm very bad with perspective, and shadows sometimes can be tricky figuring out where the light comes from. That's why it's very useful to have a reference pick. I had the little reference option turned on in Procreate the whole time, checking out where the lights fall, checking out where the shadows are, especially with a mirror, which is another level of just difficult to figure out because it doesn't reflect what's like right next to it. You have to think about what's in the view of it. Thankfully, Cham, or the person in the reference pic, is not visible in the mirror, so I did not have to draw Cham from behind. Real quickly, I also wanna address the probably awful quality of the time lapses. It's not me, it's Procreate. They have a big problem with the quality of the time-lapse videos. They make them very pixelated, even though I chose the highest quality. Anyways, after finishing debating with myself what color the tiles of the bathroom should be, I settled on this creamy, beige-ish, whitish color, finished up the shading, the background, and the energy drink can, realized I did not color the cigarette at all, and then I decided to finish it up by slapping on some digicam overlays, putting a date, and wrapping it up. So that's attack 3, done. I am very happy with how this one turned out. I love the shading, I love the character, I love the overlays, the whole vibe of it. And also, actually, Cham revenged me for this attack with this amazing art, and oh my god, I am genuinely so obsessed with it. It made me laugh so much when I saw it. Like, dude, this is so amazing. Thank you so much. Also, I love how everyone, and I mean everyone, thinks that my bangs are rat hats mustache, and at this point, honestly, it's just gonna be canon because it's very funny. Once again, thank you so much for this revenge. Huge shout out to Cham. You should check out their profile and their socials. They have so much good art. And we are moving on to the next attack. Next up, I am actually so fucking excited. Ooh, pardon my French. I am so excited because we have our first revenge. I received this absolutely gorgeous attack of my OC Rochelle done by wonderful Miss Mister. And she looks so stunning. Like, y'all, I can't even put it into words. Like, thank you so much for this attack. It's genuinely so gorgeous. Also, I think our art styles work so well. They are pretty similar, and it absolutely helped translate their gorgeous characters into a revenge that I am so excited for y'all to see. So, I decided to revenge Miss Mister with a drawing of, god, I'm gonna butcher this so bad, probably Ismeni Theophania? I don't know, I hope I'm saying it right. Real quick though, Miss Mister told me to shout out the original designer of Ismeni, Cell, aka Lure of Sally on Instagram. Thank you so much for coming up with this gorgeous design. You should go check out their profile. I myself checked out their artwork earlier and it's so pretty. Their designs are genuinely so gorgeous. You should totally follow them. Okay, back to our character though. Ismeni is a nymph deeply in love with her goddess Patreon, and she is absolutely gorgeous, both of them genuinely. I had a very hard time picking between the two. I love doomed Yuri. I don't know, y'all, I cannot explain it to you, but it's my shit. Like, if y'all watched Agatha all along, Rio and Agatha, the doomed Yuri, it gave me life. It's absolutely my favorite thing ever. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know if the Yuri is doomed. I got the impression, and I was really inspired by this artwork that they had of two of them, and I wanted to channel the same energy into the revenge I am doing. For the reference for the pose, I used a statue of a woman sitting on a rock. I think she is leaning against a tree branch or something, and she looks like a mix of angry and sad. Her face is a bit covered with her hand, and as soon as I saw that statue, I was like, this is it, this is the one. Though I am sad that her lips are covered because of the reference, because they are probably my favorite part of her design. They are so gorgeous, and I think they add so much character, but sadly I could not draw them. For this attack, I decided to be ambitious. I wanted to play into all of those challenges I put for myself. We are revenging an attack, so that's one of the challenges I gave myself, and I decided to go all out when it comes to light and shadows. Once again, referencing the picture that I showed earlier of Ismene and her goddess Patreon, I was inspired by the colors in it. I really liked the purples and the pinks in the drawing, and I wanted to use them in my revenge. I imagine her sitting in some cave, probably. I'm not really sure what the setting is, but I imagine her sitting there, probably a bit sad, melancholic, looking divine and gorgeous, absolutely, as this light glows from somewhere. This gorgeous pink light just illuminating her and making the emotion and expression just that much more noticeable and visible. I think it really brought out the vibe of the piece. I am very, very proud of myself for how this turned out. Lighting is not something I am that great at. It's not something I really play around with a lot. I usually try to do minimal, complex lights. I usually just like shade from straightforward. But this piece would have lost on so much energy if I didn't do it. I originally was gonna draw her in a different dress, but I was very happy with how her body turned out. I was very happy with all the marks and the tattoos and the freckles she has all over her body, so I decided on this dress, and I decided to make it a bit see-through because I really did not want to lose out on the details, because I don't know, I really like her design and I did not want any element of it to be lost. I totally get why her main reference pic is nude, because the markings and the colors, it all works so well together. Here you can see me finally placing guides for my lighting and my shadows. I slapped multiply layer over the whole piece, and then I started placing lights and shadows using multiply, using add, using screen, whatever felt right in the moment. And you will see me going between it so much. Just like get ready, because there is, I think, another like 3 or 4 minutes to the time lapse, and it's just gonna be me trying to figure out what the heck is going on with the lights. This also like shifted my usual routine of shading, because I would just like place shadows where a shadow would normally be, but and you can see that I am putting shadows on the braids and the clothes and stuff, but then I later on realized that I can't really do it with light sources coming from a different spot. I could not really do what I normally do, so I had to wait it out, play more with where everything's gonna be. I then figured out it would probably be the best to use a selection tool with color fill option and place sharp lights exactly where I wanted them to be, because I didn't want it to be anything soft with like transition and gradient from light to shadow. I really wanted it to be sharp, to be dramatic, to be intense. This probably took like 2 hours of just playing with the lights, playing with everything. I later on played with water, which is something I'm not used to, so I just slapped the Procreate water brush, and then I went in crazy with gradient maps. You will see it in a moment. I just started slapping so much color at different light modes. I don't even know all the light modes it consists of, but I am so happy with how this turned out. It's probably one of my favorite, most advanced experimental art pieces I've done. And there we have the first revenge of ArtFight 2026. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I am genuinely so proud of how it turned out. Thank you once again to Miss Mister for the gorgeous attack, and thank you Sal, and once again Miss Mister for creating Miss Mani. We have 2 more to go through, so let's keep moving. Alright, it is time for us to jump into the first mass attack for this year. I plan on doing a few more, but this is the one I ended up doing first. I sadly had a pretty unfortunate arrangement of shifts back to back, and I needed something that would not take too much of time, so I could make sure that I do an attack per day so I can clear out all of my bookmarks by the end of the month. On the left we have Oogie Bear by Snarlie, and on the right we have Muffin by Muffin, which is another Sona we are doing. So that's 2 Sonas in one video, spreading the artist love. Muffin is actually a character I bookmarked last year before ArtFight, but never got the chance to draw them, so I figured out this is the perfect time to do so. And seeing as both Oogie Bear and Muffin have this sad theme around them, both of them are crying, have tears on their designs, and they are just overall 2 silly little guys. I love them so much, they're so cute. I decided to put them together on a little picnic, and I called the piece the Sad Guys Picnic, which I think really suits them. I decided to draw this because I, once again, wanted to experiment with the backgrounds and the lighting. Grass and nature is not especially difficult for me because I do not know how to draw it traditionally or digitally. I always struggle with it. I wanted the attack to look like an illustration from a children's picture book, from a fairy tale, and like one of those older ones from like 90s, 80s, you know, those very aesthetic ones where little animals and critters have homes in tree trunks and use buttons as shields. Very, very Redwall illustrations inspired, I would say. Just less fighting, more sad fellas munching on the grass. Doing big, detailed OCs is always fun to draw. It's always fun to draw them, but there is something about these simple little guys, and it just brings me joy. It's a very nice way to sit down, wind down, draw something that's easy, draw something that's not gonna take too much of your time, but you are still gonna feel very accomplished by the time you are done. And that is exactly what I achieved with this attack. I had so much fun drawing both of them. I didn't think Muffin is gonna turn out very well because the pose was giving me a bit trouble with the details and the design, and I once again had to deal with ruffles, but these are even worse ones because it's the medieval clown collar type of ruffle, which I drew once in my life, and it was difficult. They do not look right, and all 3 of them look very, very different, but the message came across, and that's what's important. I decided to lay them on a little pink blanket, give them a pie, give them grass and flowers, sunshine, and yeah, that's Oogie Bear and Muffin. I hope you guys enjoy them. I had lots of fun drawing them, and it was such a fun thing to do because it's very up my alley with the whole aesthetic. If you don't know this, obviously, but my whole iPad is literally decorated in that type of illustrations. Big shout out once again to Snarlie and Muffin. You should check them out, and let's jump into the last attack for the video. At last, here we are, the end of the video. Well, not for a few more minutes, but the last attack. I am doing another mass attack, as you can see, and this time we are returning back to the ArtFight 2025 roots. For a little context, last year, right before ArtFight, I had a problem with my iPad, or well, I thought I had a problem with my iPad when I actually didn't, and it was at the repair center for 2 weeks. So for half of the ArtFight, I was a traditional art, which I've since gotten much better at using. Up until then, I would mostly draw digitally. I would only do a few doodles in my sketchbooks, but ever since then, I rediscovered my love for sketching in my sketchbook with a pencil and an eraser and just going to town with it. But back then, it was like coming back to something I don't know. I mean, I don't have a good analogy for it. It was just like very, very weird. Sadly, the first ones to fall victims to it were Ksenija and her girlfriend Ana, which I was so excited to draw them for like weeks before ArtFight, and then I completely butchered them. Here I am, 1 year later, more skills and an iPad in my hands. I am back to redeem myself and do them justice. So Ksenija and Ana are girlfriends in Yugoslavia in 1984. Ana is your typical goth girl, she likes bold makeup, she is learning to become a hairstylist, she is shy around new people, but one person she really loves is her girlfriend Ksenija. Ksenija is a ray of sunshine. She does martial arts, she is in a band called Detectiva, I believe, and they are both just so adorable to me. I love them so much, y'all. Their designs are so cute, and Skeletoni, who is their creator, has the cutest art style I have ever seen. My god. Huge shout out to them for last year revenging me with an amazing art piece, even though I gave them a very, very bad one, and I hope that this year I redeemed myself. I once again went for the idea of an old picture, though this time we are not doing a digicam, we are doing a old printed photo, which you will see by the end when I start slapping overlays over the drawing. But I imagine them two hanging out at one of their places, probably enjoying, having a nice time and taking a picture. I will say the colors, this is where everything shocked me. I did not realize how grayish the colors were until I used them, because I am so used to bright, bold neons. CMYK and me literally have a beef, RGB for life. But I ended up turning it into something I really like. I learned to love the colors, and when all put together, they do make a lot of sense, and I really like how it turned out, despite not being as bright as I usually would make my art. I had lots of fun experimenting with drawing makeup, which is, once again, something I'm not too great at. For an artist, I have a lot of things I'm not great at, makeup being one of them, and drawing Rochelle has helped me get better at it, and I hope I did Ana and her gorgeous goth makeup justice. And I also went to town with Ksenija's hair. I really, really love the blonde shade, and when everything got shaded, it just made so much sense. This was towards the end of the week. I think this was maybe on the 5th of July. I was a bit tired from work. Once again, I had pretty unbearable lineup of shifts, but I owed it to myself and to these two icons to draw them. In a moment, you will see me start doing all the collaging and the paper rips and the overlays, and I will play around with gradient maps, but I ended up not using them. I think it just turned out better without any. I think it distorted the colors a bit too much. I slapped the halftone on and went to town. And that's it. That's the final attack for the week 1 of ArtFight 2026. You should go check out Skeletoni. Their art is very cool. They have some amazing OCs. I definitely, if I wasn't attacking Ana and Ksenija, I would have had other picks from there. It's just a great lineup, and the art is just gorgeous. And there we have it. Week 1 of ArtFight done. Thank you guys so much for watching this journey with me. If you like the video, you can like it, and if you want to continue watching me for the next 3 weeks of ArtFight, you can subscribe. You can also check out all my other socials, which will be linked in bio, as well as all of the amazing artists mentioned in this video, whose usernames I will also leave down in the bio. Let me know how ArtFight is going for you. Do you have any goals set for yourself, and what team are you on? I am very excited to hear about what you guys are doing for the ArtFight this year, and now it's time to sleep. Bye!